Hey everybody, welcome back to Shadowverse. Today we're going to talk about cards, continue our conversation with card rotation. Today we're going to look at Forestcraft and Runecraft and see what they are losing and what will happen to these decks in the future. And right off the bat, you look at these Forestcraft cards. Elfchild May, Nature's Guidance, Fairy Circle, and if we just go one page over, Rhinoceros. That's crazy. If you just put it in front of you and you look at it, the fact that they're losing pretty much an entire form of Forestcraft is pretty crazy. We got also Elf Girl Eliza, Pixie Mischief, good tech. No longer there. Let's see. Yeah. As we continue on, if you look at Runecraft for a second, this bad boy, this bad girl, and like a big part of Earthright, just. That's crazy to think about that. This will no longer come out on turn 4 and wreck your face. I'm sure they'll release some other broken card at 2 for Runecraft that will do the same thing or better. No Kaleidoscopic Glow will be amazing. As you know, Runecraft is not really my favorite class to play against, especially certain types of Runecraft, but if I never have to deal with stuff getting bounced to my hand on turn 2, I'll be happy. So, like, I'm not huge on Forestcraft, so I don't know. I don't see a lot of these cards played much. This is played in, like, what? Some kind of aggro forest variant where they just spam fairies. Ancient Elf, interesting loss there. As we go down the list a little bit, people don't play Spectral Wizard much anymore. That used to be a good card for D-Shift. Especially a spell boost card in your hand 2 times. That's like what is that? Magic Owl. So like Magic Owl probably replaces, even though people don't run Spectral Wizard anymore. Magic Owl would be like a pseudo replacement for Spectral Wizard. You know, I never knew this was a Darkness Evolved card because Daria wasn't a thing till Rage of Bahamut. So it's interesting that I look at this now and it's a Darkness Evolved card because I always thought it came with Daria. Sorcery Cache is gone. Let me pull that pulled up. Alright. So like I'm especially interested real quick. Yeah, that's what I thought. So Dimension Shift is gone. So only 2 more months and this card will be gone forever. Not forever, but that's amazing, and that'll be a happy day for me, because I'm tired of playing against that deck. But, Petrification, no more Banish for Rune, it's interesting. Witch Bolt is an interesting card as well. Now, I don't think many people run Witch Bolt over something like, what is it, Fiery Embrace, and Wind Blast. So, Elven Princess Mage, another key card in the Roach Forestcraft variant. I mean, pretty much removing the Roach variant from the entire game, which is kind of funny. Runeblade Summoner, I've seen this happen sometimes where they pull out a 16/16 summoner and just, go face with it. Merlin, also gone. So, like, a lot of the D-Shift, like, staples, along with D-Shift itself, are being rotated out. Fire Chain. Let's see, what else? Fairy Caster, another, like, aggro type. Forest. Will of the Forest is pretty much a staple in Forest. But it got its replacement in Cassiopeia. And that's what it seems like Cygames is doing here, is replacing all the like key cards with other cards, which in a way defeats the purpose of a rotation. Even if Cassiopeia is kind of better, but it costs one more. It is a body. So, another card lost. Not played much anymore, but it is still a good card. Is Tia. Let's see here. People, this is another, like, I guess aggro sword thing. Pascal. No one plays that generally, but that is gone. Fate's Hand, again, the D-Shift variant is being deleted. Fairy Princess, not very good, but very cute. Winter's Caprice, Transform, yeah. So, Elf Knight, Cynthia. Some of these cards are good for, like, Take 2 as well. Calamitous Curse. So, they still have a Mutagenic Bolt. So, and Young Levi to clear a board. But, no Calamitous Curse for those, like, pesky, last word effects. Alright. This card right here. Very annoying card to play against. But, not seen much. When it is played against you, it's very annoying. But, so a lot of, like, Earthright stuff is gone too. Like, old Earthright stuff. Homecoming. Also being rotated out. And we get to the end of the line, back to Dimension Shift. Silverbolt apparently was a Darkness Evolve card? No, it's a standard card. Ah, interesting. So no, White Wolf Silverbolt shenanigans, but, White Wolf, like I played that White Wolf Force deck a couple weeks ago where they used, what was it, King Elephant? And King Elephant also is kind of a replacement for Roach in a way. It's not as early as a Roach victory, but I think maybe if we go back to the sword video from yesterday, we have them removing a lot of aggro aspects. If you look at the Forest, they're removing a lot of fairy spam aggro type mechanics. So I think maybe, just maybe, they're trying to curb aggro a little bit. We all read and say things about how Japan, the people that play Shadowverse in Japan want to play it like on the bus, on the train. They want to play a game and they want to be done in like 3 minutes because they're on a commute, and it could be a short commute, or they're just walking down the street. People don't want to play long-winded dragon mirrors that last for 20 minutes. As awesome as those can be sometimes, they take too long for the people that play this game the most, which is the people from Japan. And that's why they're getting more entries into the big tournament at the end of December, is because more people play the game than people in any other region in the world. So I can see why they want fast games, but it's very boring when games end on turn, anywhere before turn 6. Because, you're removing essentially most of mid-range, like the end of mid-range, and then, control late-game stuff. The only control late-game stuff you can play is Ram Dragon. And I'm interested to see when we do the Dragoncraft video what they're going to lose as far as ramp goes, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of ramp that's going to be missing, which could hurt Dragon, because really the only viable Dragon deck is ramp. But we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. So, but I think the biggest I guess loss here for people that like to play it is Dimension Shift. Obviously, They literally remove, and you know, if you go back to the neutral part, you know, Angelic Snipe is gone, you know, so they removed a lot of, if not all, of the Dimension Shift Runecraft variant, and they removed a lot of like older key Earthright cards, like Red Hot Ritual, Calamitous Curse is a good one. And then like Fate's Hand, Will of the Forest also. You know, these are all pretty key cards for these classes. You know, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of variants, and like this is the big one for me, is this and Dimension Shift. The fact that I'll never have to deal with this mother ever again is pretty awesome. But again, it'll be very interesting to see how they build Forestcraft, especially because this has been Forestcraft for the longest time. If you don't play PTP Forest, it was Rhinoceros Forest. You know, lately Neutral Forest has been the best Forest deck, but there's always been Forest, like a Roach Forest. It's always been the thing for Forestcraft, and I feel they're trying to get away from that because, like, say Albert for Sword, Roach is a, you know, crux for Forest. Unless you get rid of it and like you build like you gotta build the class without Roach and make it good without Roach to make it actually good, you know, without playing Roach. You know, it's like you play Roach or you don't play Forest. And I think they're trying to get away from that, you know, so, which is good, because I think all classes need more diversity. There needs to be like several types of decks for each class. I say that, but then they're deleting D-Shift, like all the way. Like every key part of D-Shift was in Standard or Darkness Evolved. So, but if each class has their own, like, they need more than one deck that's viable. And for a while, Swordcraft has been aggro and nothing but aggro. Mid Sword is good, but it's not anywhere near the top. It's been aggro Sword. And D-Shift, the win rates are low for D-Shift, but it's still a deck that's played prominently on ladder. And Roach was, before like the whole Beauty and the Beast came out, Roach Forest was the only Forestcraft deck played, because it was the only viable one. So if you got to get rid of the cards that are holding the class back if you want to actually fix the class. And this is the problem with Sword and Albert. Much as I like Albert, you can't give Sword anything else because Albert's just too good. And when a card is auto-include 3 in every deck you play with that class, you know, it's holding the class back. And then we go back to, if we look at a card that just came out called, let's see here, called Staircase to Paradise. This card is almost auto-include in every deck, and it's a neutral card, and that's bad. That's Grimnir levels of bad, because for a while Grimnir was auto 3 include, and they need to get away from cards like this, to where you just spam 3 of them in every deck, or you spam 3 of that card in that one class's every deck. And so I think that's something they're trying to address, but then they keep printing cards like this. So we'll see how that works out. Tomorrow we are going to we'll check out Dragoncraft, and we'll check out Havencraft. I'm really curious to see how Ramp is being altered. because I'm pretty sure the 2 key early game ramp cards are going to the wayside. So we'll check that out tomorrow. If you want to comment below and tell me what you think about Runecraft and Forestcraft here, feel free to do so. I would appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow. Subscribe for more content in the future. We'll finish this series on the next 2 days, and we'll see you later. Take care.